Welcome, welcome to week 4 of Plan B. I'm so excited to be here with you for our last and final week. And listen, I have a gift for you. I'm gonna say that off the bat. So I want to make sure you stay to the end to hear the gift, right? So as you know, every week I am on my iPad to see your comments. So come on in, let me pull up our music for the week. I want you to tell us name and where you're from as you're coming in, right? My music for the week, playing on my iPhone. Come on in, come on in. Tell me name and where you're joining from. Week 4, and tell me if this is your first week or if you've been here for all 4, right? Come on in, come on in. Got crazy weather hair today. Come on in, ladies. And listen, even if you're watching the replay, I still want you to tell me name and where you're from. I'm watching over here on my iPad. Show you what I'm looking at. So I can see when you're making your comments. Over here on my iPad. Come on in, come on in. Great way to start our Thursday, right? The beginning of the weekend is what I always think of Thursdays. Tell us name and where you're from as you're coming in. You might see a sister friend that's in your backyard, right? A little happy my blush this morning. Come on in. Tell us name and where you're joining from. Hey, Erica in Chicago, Chi-Town in the house. Who else is here? There's more than Erica here, right? Don't be a looky-loo. Come on in and play all the way out. And that starts with your first step in saying good morning and tell me your name and where you're joining from, right? Come on, all you shy girls watching and not saying hey, hey. Come on in. Get back a little bit more, right? Hey, Sharon and ATL, you've been here for all 4. I know that's right. So excited, right? Yes, tell me if you've been here all 4, if this is your first one, if you've been here for 2, right? And those of you that have missed any, I have gifts for you. I have a special gift for you. I'm so excited. So make sure you stay till I share it at the end. All right. So I'm going to get started. I know more of you will come in, but it's always my commitment to be quick in the morning because I know you have a busy day. I want to be kind of like a quick, you know how you take a vitamin B shot? Maybe I am a vitamin B shot because it's all about your brilliance. My goal is to help you awaken, amplify, and bankroll your brilliance. Those are the 3 things that I've been put on this earth to do to help you awaken, amplify, and bankroll your brilliance. Hey, Don. Welcome, welcome, welcome in Boston. I'm in Boston too. Well, I live in North Billerica, kind of far, 45 minutes outside of Boston, but I am here. So listen, this is week 4 of Plan B, when you're ready for your next best career move. And here's what I know from for so many successful women. You get into a place in your career where you may be the exact place that you always wanted, or you're at the pinnacle of success and you feel one of a few things. You feel like there's more for you, like you don't feel fulfilled, you lack meaning, or you're bored, right? Or you just feel like there's some rumble inside of you to be or do something different, right? And so if any of those things are where you are, whether you're still in your 9 to 5 or you started your business already, right? And you, by the way, you don't have to be an entrepreneur to be here. What I know is even as a woman in corporate America and the corporate women that I've had the privilege to coach, there's more for you. And sometimes, again, you've gotten to that job you've always wanted and you don't know what that more is, right? And so this special 4-week series has been to give you everything you need so that 2020 will be your abundantly above all year. If you, hey, Miss Angela in Boston. So if you haven't heard me say this, Ephesians 3:20, I have several Bible verses. I probably would say every Bible verse is my favorite. But that one says, to him who gives you exceedingly abundantly above all you could ask or think. So if the thing that's rumbling inside you is bigger than where you are, it's going to require a new level of you. And so that is who I'm here for every week, is for the next level of you, not who you already are. That version of you is done. I'm for who you have not yet become. That is why I did this 4-week training. So I'm gonna do a quick review. Those of you that have been here all 4 weeks, shout out what you've learned in the 4 weeks. So listen, I'm gonna read this Bible verse that is a perfect kind of overview. By the way, the teaching that I've done this month has been based on one of my favorite people in the Bible. Her name is Esther. What's interesting is when you think of Esther, think about all the books in the Bible. There's only 2 books in all of the books of the Bible that are written about a woman, Ruth and Esther. That's I'm forgetting somebody. So listen, Esther obviously is significant. So is Ruth, but we're not here talking about Ruth. We're talking about Esther. That's a whole nother conversation in and of itself, right? And so I want to do a little review. By the way, if you see me, I have notes. Why do I have notes? Because those of you that know me, listen, I've been doing this for 27 years. So I have over 96 hours that I can coach and teach you on, probably more than that. So I could be here all day and still be teaching you something different. So I want to stay focused and only be here for 30 minutes. Good morning, Latanya. Tell us where you're from, right? And so, yes, I have notes. Okay. So I'm going to read this Bible verse as a review. Okay. So it's Esther 4:16. Hey, Belinda in New Bern. First time. Yay. Welcome. And by the way, for those of you that are here with me for the first time, let me introduce myself. My name is Nicole Roberts Jones. And what I do is I help women align their purpose with their paycheck. So if you're a corporate woman, what that means is helping you pivot into your next best career move. If you're an entrepreneur, that means I help you create multiple streams of income from what you already know. Right? So that's what I do. That's who I be. I hold the space for women to become the highest and best version of who God created them to be. That's my life's calling, right? Good morning, Darlene. Tell us where you're from. So with that, the Bible verse for our review, and you guys know I'm gonna go in and out, right? So hang with me. The Bible verse for our review today is Esther 4:16, and it says, this is New King James Version, by the way, go gather all the Jews who are present and fast for me. This is Esther talking. Neither eat nor drink for 3 days, night or day. My maids and I will fast likewise. And so I will go to the king, which is against the law. And if I perish, I perish. Now, if you don't know Esther's story, real quick recap, because I did the whole story in week 1. Hey, Columbus, Ohio, Miss Darlene. So Esther is a woman who was a Jew, and a Jew should have never become queen. But her cousin worked in the palace, or uncle. Some versions say cousin, some say uncle. So I say cousin, uncle interchangeably, but obviously he was related to her. Changed her name from Hadassah to Esther so she could run for queen. She became queen. And then the pastor, the king's right-hand man had this plot out against the Jews, just was hating on the Jews, just hating on people for no reason. And so what the king didn't know is that his wife was a Jew. And so I'm gonna read this verse one more time if you didn't know that backstory, okay? So her cousin Mordecai had come to her, and I'll tell you about that in a second. But this is what she says back. Go gather all the Jews and fast for me. Neither eat nor drink for 3 days. Have you ever fasted before for more than 1 day? I did a 7-day fast before, and let me tell you something. It was super duper hard. Hey, Andrea and Fontana, I've only done that once. Now I fast a day every week, but I did a 7-day fast once. Woo, hard. So multiple day fasts are not easy, right? And so she said, I'm going to ask my maids to do the same. And so I will go to the king, which is against the law. And if I perish, I perish. So I'm reading that to you because the 3 topics I talked about the first 3 weeks were number 1, don't settle. See, Esther could have said, you know what? I'm good. The king doesn't even know I'm a Jew, so I'm cool. But what she realized, right? And here's this Bible verse, Esther 4:14, okay? And I'm going to give you some good insight, but I need to give you some backstory so you understand where I'm going, okay? So in Esther 4:14, when Mordecai came to her, this is what he said. For if you remain silent at this time, relief and deliverance for the Jews will arise from another place. But you and your father's house will perish. You and your father's family will perish, right? And who knows? But that you have come to the kingdom for such a time as this. One of my favorite sayings, for such a time as this. And here's what I want you to know. First week I talked about don't settle, because here's the thing, we all come to our for such a time as this moment. I believe that rumble is happening in your belly because there are a group of people that are tied to that gift inside of you that need you, that are praying for you, that you are the answer to that prayer. And every day that you hold up that next level of you, you're holding up somebody's blessing. So it's not even for you. I need you to understand that. So when you settle, what you do is you hide. When you settle, you're settling for good enough. When you settle, you're not saying yes to the next version of you. And so Esther could have settled and said, oh, I'm good. Oh, the king will never know. All of y'all will be dead anyway, so I'll be good. So sure, for you, you might not be staring in the face of fear. You might be staring in the face of, I have bills to pay. How am I going to make this shift right now? You might be staring in the face of, I want to put my kids through college. You might be staring in the face of, I can keep going. You know, all the excuses that I hear women say to me, oh, well, I'm already busy. How do I add extra hours in the day to do the thing that I'm called to do? The thing that's rumbling in my belly. It's not, can you? The question is, will you? So don't settle. I'll tell you, when I started this business 27 years ago, and when I actually started doing well in my business, I had a daytime job. I did. I was a university professor at that time. So how did I do that? I woke up every morning at 4 a.m. Did I like it? No. My bonus children were little. They were here with us. I would get up at 4 because, to be honest with you, and you moms know this, that's the only time in the whole house, the whole day, that I could have to myself, because my kids were not trying to get up at 4. Trust and believe. If they were walking like zombies to the bathroom. Right? And then I'd work from 4 to 6. I'd get them up, get them dressed, feed them, get them off. I'd go to work. I'd get to my office. I always got to my office 30 minutes early so that I could go through my day and see what my schedule was, so I could see when I could do my work and when I could do the work I was getting paid for. That's real. Every lunch, I had a coaching call, because my lunch is my lunch. So if I sat in my office or sat in my car when I didn't have an office, come on. Hey, Tony in Dallas. And then I'd come home at the end of the day, cook, do homework or whatever might be happening with my bonus kids, put them in bed, and I'd be back in my office. Did I like it? No. Was I exhausted? Yes. But I wouldn't be where I am now if I chose not to settle. It's possible. The question is, will you do the work to go get it, right? Step number 2 is, who's on your team, right? That's what's going on with me right now. I'm struggling trying to get in my career. Yes, Darlene, I got you. Been there. One of the things I love doing is helping women craft what works for them, right? The second week, so week 1 was don't settle. I gave you 3 steps to not settle. So if you miss week 1, go watch it, because it's way more than what I just said. Week 2 is who's on your team. The thing that I think is interesting is, I want you to see that Esther says, go ask all the Jews to pray. And I'm going to ask my maids, my girls that are around me. So you've got to be mindful of who's around you, because guess what? When you're going through something really, really hard, you need to know that they're on your team, that they're not going to hate on you. They're not paying for the opposing team. And so we did the work week 2. Each week I've given you homework. I've given you work to do, because I really need you to see what's happening in and around you, because what's happening in and around you is either fostering your growth or is hindering you from it. And then week 4, and those of you that are coming in and say, hey, you want to interrupt me? Week 4, that's today. Week 3, I talked about taking a knee. Now, many of you guys would think that's Colin Kaepernick, and that is where I got that title from. But here's the thing I think is so rich in Esther's story. How in a moment where she had a huge decision to make, she didn't try to make the decision. She said, we need to pray, because she sought direction from God. And what I know for many successful women, that's the missing ingredient. So going to church on Sunday is not enough. Reading your Bible verse in the morning, if those of you that have devotional and you read in your Bible app the Bible verse of the day, not enough. Not saying don't do it, but you need more than that. You need direction. You need God's presence. See, his presence is power. If I have to plug my iPhone in every night for it to get charged up, why don't you need to get plugged in and get charged up? I'm just saying. So that takes us to the conversation for this week, which is, you've got to risk it all to gain it all. That's week 4. Risk it all to gain it all. And why am I saying that? I want you to realize that Esther said, after all of that, if I perish, I perish. She was willing to look in what was possible. Okay, so I'm going to give you 3 great steps to go after your next level, right? So risk it all to gain it. Step number 1, taking a risk allows you to meet the next level of you. See, when you take a risk, you're pushing beyond where you are. You're pushing outside of your comfort zone. And see, what I know about many of us, when we get to us, because this was me too, when we get to a certain level of success, when we do something different, we want to know exactly if it's going to work. We want to know exactly how we're going to get there. And that's not how God works. The thing I like to say is, it works like this, right? It's like when I'm having a bad food day and I cheat, and I haven't done this in a while because I no longer eat meat. I eat fish, but no meat. So when I could do this. I could go to McDonald's and go to the drive-up window, and I could order a fillet of fish, because I can still eat that, right? And so when I go to that drive-up window, I go, yes, hi, I'd like a fillet of fish and a bottle of water, because I try to be good, right? No French fries, please. I want them, but I can't eat them, right? And then I leave that first window and I just drive to the second window. I wonder if they have filet of fish today. I wonder if they're going to put the special sauce on my fish. I don't think about all of that. See, most of us are caught up in how. When God places something in you, instead of you getting the strategy, and that's really what Esther did when she said, let's pray. She pulled everybody she knew around her and she sought direction to get the strategy she needed to move forward. And then when she got the strategy, she didn't say, hey, God, tell me every step. And many of you, the thing that's keeping you from your next level is that you want to know, I want to know, I'm going to get to 6 figures in a year. I want to know the exact way I'm going to get there. And God doesn't work like that. He says, trust me. He says, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So Esther didn't know if what she was going to do was going to work. That's why she said, if I perish, I perish. I'm going to do everything I know to do. I'm going to go pray and let God give me direction. And I'm going to trust him. And when she did that, that helped her grow a next level of her, because what God told her to do was not something that she would have thought to do herself. I know for me in my own journey, when God took me out of my first career in the entertainment industry, a career I dreamed of since I was a little girl, I didn't know I'd be doing this. First of all, people don't believe me when I say this. I'm actually shy. So if you ever see me out in public and I'm sitting by myself, I'm shy. I've had to get over being shy to be on stage. Oh my God, there used to be a time when I would stand on stage and I'd be shaking like a leaf. I gotten used to it now. I've been doing it 27 years, but I had to go through all of that to be here now. So my question to you is, what do you need to push through to go to the next level of you, right? And I'm not just saying, people take to just jump out on faith. I'm gonna quit my job. Okay, that's stupid. God wrote a whole book called Proverbs, which is a book of wisdom. So when you do a risk, you want it to be a calculated risk. You want to seek counsel. This is why I think coaching is important. This is why anytime I'm going to my next level in my business or my life, I hire a coach so that I can get the strategy I need. I hire a coach and I sit in quiet contemplation and let God pour into me, right? Belinda says, wow, my husband spoke the same words last night in church about being charged up. I love it. This is a strong word. Yes. Because let me tell you guys, I have sat in quiet contemplation and asked God, what do I share with you this month? And everything I'm sharing with you has been what he has poured into me to give to you. And that's real. So that's step number one. Taking a risk helps you grow to the next level of you. Because listen, anytime you go outside of your comfort zone, you're gonna have to have new tools to do something different. If you keep doing the same thing over and over and expect a different result, that's the definition of insanity. Hello, right? So step number two, sorry, y'all, I'm going off on tangents this morning and y'all got me fired up. I don't know how, but you do. Right, I read all that, yes. Step number two is you got to do it afraid. Many of you think that it's going, your fear is going to go away. That's not real. I will be lying to you if I told you that fear is going to go away. Now, God has not given us a spirit of fear, but power, love, and a sound mind, and that is a Bible verse. But just because he hasn't given it to us don't mean you ain't gonna have it. Hello. See, fear is because your flesh is expecting it to be predictable. And when God is calling you out into something new, it's not going to be predictable. So it's going to be scary. Anytime you're doing something you've never done before, it's going to be scary. So if I go back to the Bible verse I said at the beginning, Ephesians 3:20, to him who is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all you can wish or think. Again, if it's beyond what you can wish or think, is going to be scary. This is why you've got to seek counsel. This is why you want to have strategy. So even in the middle of fear, okay, I'm sticking to the plan. So when Esther asked her handmaidens, let's pray. When she said, Mordecai, go to all the Jews and we're going to pray for 3 days and fast. We're not going to eat a thing so I can get direction. The direction that she got from God was to throw a feast for her husband. Now, keep in mind, the queen never hosted a feast before, so she could have gotten in trouble for that. But her husband was like, oh, you want to throw me a feast? Oh, how sweet. She threw a feast the first day. And I'm sure in the middle of that feast, God dropped in her spirit, do a second feast. She didn't know before that. She just knew one feast. How do I know that? Because I know how God works. Usually he doesn't tell you what to do next until you're in the middle of the first step. So those of you that want to know every single thing, it doesn't work like that. That's why the power of his presence is so beyond important. When I started Plan B, I didn't know what I was going to teach week to week. I knew what I was teaching week one. Each week, I'm like, Lord, just show me what to teach the next week. And sometimes I got on this video an hour before God gave it to me. Not today. God gave me this a week ago. I'm being honest, right? And so I need you to understand that she sat in that first feast through the whole feast. And then the king was like, wow, this is so great. What do you want? You know, because he wanted to give her something. She said, well, I want to throw you another feast. All while she's scared. I know she had to be scared because, again, she could die. She knew at the end of the feast, whatever God was going to tell her to do, she had to go and tell her husband. So I need you to understand, anytime God is calling you to something great, it's going to be scary. It's, again, calling a new level of you. So that new level of you means you've got to grow past where you are, which means you've got to do something you've never done, which means you're going to be scared. So my challenge to you was to do it afraid. Stop waiting for fear to go away. It's not. Get in a community that will help you push through your fear. That's why every week I invite you guys to join me for the Awakened Woman Weekend. Number one, I'm gonna give you strategy to work through fear. Because here's the thing: when I'm afraid, that I know that I'm playing as big as God wants me to play. I know that means that I've got to depend fully on Him. Because if I do it in my strength, you're not gonna make it. If I was Esther and I was doing it in my strength, I think I would have been crying at the first dinner, knowing the conversation I had to have with my husband at the end of it. I wouldn't have made it through the first one, let alone to have three. But that's in my strength. That's why you got to do it afraid and be and completely trust with God, right? And then here's the thing. Many of you guys don't even realize, and this is a good one. I wonder if you realize that your comfort zone is killing your ambition. Your comfort zone is killing your goals. Your comfort zone is killing your breathtaking future. Which, number three, faith produces ambition. It's when you believe when you can't see. It's when you continue. It's when you do the work. It's when you hang in there through what I call see nothing days. When you see nothing at all happening. It's like when you plant a seed and you plant a seed, it goes under the dirt, right? So if the seed is under the dirt, you can't see anything, but you go water it day and day and day out and day out and day out. And at some point, the seed finally comes out of the ground, but it takes the see nothing days for you to hang in there. And see, when you have faith and you believe that all the work you're doing, just like Esther, she believed the first dinner she threw was what God told her to do. Well, she didn't believe it, she knew it. Then the second, then the third. See, that was watering the seed that God was already, what God was doing was He was softening the heart of the king. God knew what He was doing, but Esther didn't. So my question to you is, are you limiting God? One of the things my auntie said to me years ago, and it stays in my head, is don't limit God's ability to bless you. Don't limit God's ability to bless you. And for many of you, that's what you're doing. And so listen, I hear many of you have been posting in my Facebook group, you've missed the Plan B playbook. So yes, this week I have week 4, but I got a gift for you. So week 4 is all walk you through risk. It's walking you through where you are and taking risk. And the Bible verse at the top of it is, he who has a slack hand becomes poor, but the hand of the diligent makes rich, right? Now, here's the thing. When I think of a slack hand, it means doing what's easy. And dare I say it's lazy, because if it's easy, you being lazy, you're not pushing yourself. It's like going to the gym. When I pick up the weights that I do not want to pick up, and yes, I'm making a face because I hate working out. I worked out this morning at 6 a.m. so I could be in here with y'all, and I have a full day. So I had to get up early. That's not slack. Did I want to do it? No. But I also want my body to work, and so I could do the work that I do. So this one is the longest one. Usually the other ones have been 2 pages. This one is 5 pages. And it's chock full of notes so you can really look at where you've been on the way to where you're going. And why do I have you do this work? Because we as busy women will stay busy, being busy, and we don't stop long enough. We don't stop long enough to pour into ourselves. See, I need you to be pouring from your overflow. So if I had a saucer under this cup and I poured juice in this cup, water, juice, whatever, and the water would be overflowing, I need you to give from your overflow, that be in your saucer, not from what's in your cup. Do you get that? And so for many of you, the reason you're tired or burnt out, the reason you're frustrated, you're in overwhelm, the reason why you feel lack of meaning or fulfillment, you're just one pivot away from being able to go after your abundantly above all, being able to live in the grace and ease that is your life. And that's why I invite you every week to the Awakened Woman Weekend. Listen, tickets are going like hotcakes. So if you want to be in the room March 27th through 29th, I need you to join me, right? Now, go to awakenedwomanweekend.com to learn more about that. But in addition to that, I have a gift for you. So listen, every week I've been giving you that week's playbook, right? But because I've heard you, because many of you have been posting, oh my God, I missed the playbook, I didn't get it. I'm giving you the playbook in its entirety, week 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? So how you get your playbook is you go to yourplanbplaybook.com. Again, go to yourplanbplaybook.com, and it's going to take you to my Facebook Messenger. And if you've never been on my Facebook Messenger before, you're going to have to click start, right? I think it's start. I wrote a note on here. It's going to get started, right? If you've already been in there, it's going to ask you a question, and it's going to ask you, it's going to prompt you to say plan B. When you do that, you'll get the playbook, all right? So the reason I'm doing this is because so many of you guys, every week when I post it and I say, hey, it's only available until tomorrow, 6 a.m., let me tell you why I do that. Because I want to award the women that are willing to do the work, the women that are in it to win it. So just watching this is not enough. This is a great start. I get you excited and motivated, but inspiration and motivation gets you nothing but hope. And hope without execution is hallucination. Hope without execution is hallucination. So I need you to execute on what you learn. So I give you the place to do that. I give you work so you can begin the work. But many of you need more than even the playbook. So I can get the yourplanbplaybook.com. And for those of you that are joining me at Awaken Women Weekend, the other thing that I'm gifting you is my 52-day devotional. It's your time to shine. Now I renamed it. I renamed it for such a time as this, because that's what I wanted the name of this book to be, but my publisher made me change it. But because I'm giving it to you as an ebook, I got to change the cover. But what this is, it will start the work that we will do in the room at Awaken Women Weekend. It'll start even, this is a great partner with your Plan B playbook. They listen, everything I teach you or give to you is in concert with each other. And I'm pouring so much into you because I want 2020 to be your abundantly above all year. I want you to go after that next level for you. I want you to stop settling for good enough. See, here's the thing I want you to get. You may be living in ordinary, and your ordinary may be better than most, but there's extra God wants to put with that. I can't even get it out. So that you can live in your extraordinary. And so I'm inviting you to do that. Again, go grab your playbook, yourplanbplaybook.com, get your copy, do the work. And I can't wait to see you show up in the way that God intended for you to show up, right? So as we end, does anybody have any questions about Plan B that I've shared in the 4-week strategy? Any questions about Awaken Women Weekend? Any questions about your playbook? Then I can honor before we wrap for our last week together. I hope that this time together has enriched your life. I hope that this time together has put a little fire under your butt, because some of you have been sitting in complacency. And you have to know that your conviction and your convenience should never coexist. See, that conviction in you, that desire, that inkling, that rumble in your belly to do something or be something more, that's God putting it there. And that conviction and your convenience around it should never sit in the same space. So it's not going to be convenient, but it will be worth it. Remember, today is all risk it all to gain it all. So how will you take a risk and jump out in faith, strategic faith, to go after that next level of you? How will you get the strategy you need to move it forward? Again, yourplanbplaybook.com is one way to do that. And then for the rest of you, I look forward to seeing some of you. I see Marsha is here and Felicia is here. Some of the ladies that have already signed up to join us for Awaken Woman Weekend, March 27th to 29th in Myrtle Beach. The thing that I think is so yummy about that weekend is every woman that will be there is committed to their next level. So that means that you all will hold the space for one another. You'll meet women from all over the country who are coming to say yes to their next level and maybe your next accountability partner, right? So in that weekend, there'll be 4 things I'm going to focus on. 1, I'm looking at my notes because I don't want to forget anything. Hey, Miss Marsha in Dallas. 1 is a deeper connection with God. Again, because going to church is great. Reading devotionals is great, but God wants a relationship with you outside of church. God wants his own personal relationship with you. How do you sit in his presence and power up? And some of you, the way you've been sitting in his presence isn't working anymore. You need a new level of that. We're going to work on that weekend, right? An action plan of what's next. So not only are you going to get clear about what's next, and we're going to move anything out of your way that can hinder you from getting there, but we're going to put together, how do you go after it? And then I said the supportive community, and then giving back to you, because here's the thing. I told you about the overflow, your cup and your overflow. So we often give and give and give and give and give and give to everybody else. Who gives to you? Who and how? So you come into that weekend. I'm coming full to pour all I have into you. My business bestie is going to be with me. That's one of my rocks that I go to when I need pouring into. We do it for each other. And I'm excited that she'll be there with me to coach you. So grab your seat if you know you should be there. awakenedwomanweekend.com. I see nobody's asking questions. That was my stall tactic to see if you guys had questions. So with that, it's been my honor to pour into you these last 4 weeks. Oh, and other thing I'm going to tell you is if you missed any of these videos, I'm putting them also in my YouTube channel. So if you haven't checked out my YouTube channel, go over to nrjnetwork.com. So you'll see them all there. So a couple things. Let me just review because I've told you guys a whole lot of things, right? Number one, get your playbook, yourplanbplaybook.com. Again, yourplanbplaybook.com is B as in boy. Okay, yourplanbplaybook.com. Go grab it. Number two, if you know you should have your butt in a seat at Awaken Woman Weekend, grab it, right? I love you for allowing God to use you. I pray my financial situation get better so I can get to conference. Let me explain to you. Listen, I love when people say they pray for your financial situation to get better. And like, darling, I'm not trying to step on your toes. I'm stepping on everybody. Because here's the thing. Sometimes the prayers we're praying, you're waiting on God, but God is waiting on you. There's things God has already given you to do. And I'm going to tell you, the first time I went to a conference, I can afford it. I put it on a credit card. So I'm not telling you to do that, but what I am telling you is you got to be able to risk it all to gain it all. So stop asking God to do it and step up on what God is telling you to do. And you watch him show up as you step up, right? So, sorry, I went off on tangent. So number one, get your playbook, yourplanbplaybook.com. Two, if you know you should have your butt in a seat, awakenwomanweekend.com. Grab your seat. And then if you want to see all 4 weeks because you missed it, go to my YouTube channel, nrjnetwork.com. They'll be there within the hour, right? Again, I pray that I've given you great strategy. Those that I will have the blessing to coach and teach and hold the space for at Awaken Women Weekend in Myrtle Beach next month. I can't wait. Know that I know I've been praying for you. I'm listening. Marsha said front row. Oh, by the way, to be an intimate group of women, it will not be more than 20 women. Actually, I don't even want it to be like maybe, I keep saying 10 to 15. My team keeps saying 20. I want it to be a small group so I can really pour into you. So that I can really, really hold the space for you. So this is not like an event. It's not. This is about me being able to hold the space for you and pour into you to go after your next level. All right? So with that said, yourplanbplaybook.com is where you get your playbook. AwakenWomanWeekend.com is where you go grab your seats. It's been my honor to coach and teach you over this month for Plan B. When it's time for your next best career move, please share below what value you got out of our time together. Share with me one nugget you got, and if you've been with me all 4 weeks or 3 or 2 or today's your first, share with me the value you've gotten out of this, right? So with that, have a phenomenal Thursday, and I'll see you soon. Bye, y'all.